everyone. This is the second part of the video of Claiming an Education by Adrienne Rich. In the first part, we actually ended by saying how feminist movement as a political and social collective did take lots of initiatives so as to claim a space for women, so as to claim an education for women. That is how we ended the last video. In this video, we'll talk about the second part of this essay, the speech, where Adrienne Rich is asking what, or Adrienne Rich is telling the girl students what, as an individual girl student, how can you contribute to the wider scale of claiming your own space? How can you contribute to the wider scale of claiming an education for yourself? That is the first thing that she focuses on. And the second thing that she focuses on is, of course, something which is addressed to the teachers over there, both male teachers as well as female teachers, but especially male teachers, on what they should do, on what are the things that they should do so as to make girl students claim a space in education for their own. Now, Adrienne Rich says that her real talk, her talk is not about women's studies, though she says that women's studies, you can, as girl students, you can of course enroll in different women education courses, women's studies courses, which would of course help you in developing yourself, in gaining much of an experience so as to establish a sort of self-esteem for yourself. Courses of course help you, but more than these courses, the ultimate thing, or the first thing that should come in order to claim, in order to contribute to this wider scale of claiming, should come from individual girl students. And the first thing that they should do, and the only thing, or the first and most important thing that any girl student should do, is taking responsibility towards yourself. So if you are able to take responsibility for yourself, you can of course contribute to this wider scale of claiming an education. So in order to take the responsibility of yourself, what are the things that you should do? Adrienne Rich says that always women are taught not to take care of themselves. Women are taught not to take care of their own, not to be responsible for themselves. Women are taught to treat themselves as secondary to all other relationships, be it parents, be it the relationship with parents, husbands, sons, daughters, whoever it is. Now, what happens is women are all the time told to be secondary, they are told that your primary responsibility is the responsibility that you have with others, with other people. All the time, women students have been given models. Women are being given models of self-denying wife and mothers, sacrificing mothers and wives. Those intelligent and brilliant girls or women who do not express, who do not exhibit their intelligence because they want to be more feminine, they want to seem more feminine. They sit passively, silently there, though they disagree with everything that is being told in the outside world, though they disagree with everything that is happening around. They just sit there simply, passively, silently, because they want to be feminine. These are the kinds of examples that are being given to women every day. Every day, in a routine manner, girls are being given examples or models of these kinds of self-denying and self-sacrificing mothers and wives and daughters. Now, what Adrienne Rich tells us that responsibility towards yourself is the first thing that you should always bear in mind. In the sense, how can you be responsible towards yourself? The first thing Adrienne Rich says is that you should refuse to let others do your thinking, talking, and naming for you. You can think, you can talk, you can name for yourself, you can take decisions. In order to, you should of course respect your own brains and instincts. So for that, you should learn to take decisions, you should learn to think for yourself, you should learn to use your instincts for yourself. You should talk for yourself. You should do all things for yourself. That is the first step of taking responsibility. So the second thing that Adrienne Rich focuses on is to the women students is learn to respect and use your own brains and instincts. You should learn to use your own brains and your own instincts in the sense that you can of course take your own decisions. Your thinking process, your instinct is more important than anybody else's. You can do it for yourself. Do not depend on others to do your talking, your thinking, everything, all these things. You're deciding. Everything should come from you, not from others. So for that, it's not a simple task, or it's not an easy task to do the thinking for yourself, do the talking for yourself, deciding for yourself. It's not quite easy to do. But then you need to really struggle. You need to really work hard so as to attain this level, so as to think for yourself. Because all the time, why is it difficult, or why do you need to work hard for that? Because all the time women are taught not to think. All the time women are taught not to talk. All the time women are taught not to take decisions, because somebody else would take decision for you. Somebody else would think for you. Somebody else would voice for you. And Adrienne Rich says that should change. You should. Of course, it is quite difficult in the sense that society has already created that kind of a thing for you. So it's quite difficult for you to achieve this. So start from thinking for yourself. Start from talking for yourself. Start from voicing yourself. Start from respecting your brains and your instincts. Third thing that Adrienne Rich focuses on is do not treat your body as a commodity with which to purchase superficial intimacy or economic security. So your body should not be treated as a commodity. Your body is not a commodity. Your body is not an object. Learn to respect your body. Do not demand superficial intimacy by commodifying, by objectifying your body. In the name of economic security, in the name of love, in the name of affection, whatever it is, learn to respect your body. And the next thing that the fourth thing that she talks about is the people you connect with. Make sure that the people you connect with, in the form of friendship, in the form of love, in the form of relationships, in the form of attachment, whatever it is, the people that you connect with are able to respect your mind as well as your body. See, if people are not ready to respect you as you are, respect your mind, respect your brain, respect your instincts, respect your body, it's like Charlotte Bronte's Jane Eyre. You tell them that I have of course an inward treasure bond with me. I can of course take away, or even if all those extraneous delights are taken away from me, I can live because I have an inward treasure within me. So don't go for those relationships that does not have a respect of your mind. Then responsibility means that you do not fall for shallow or easy solutions. It's quite easy to be in the comfort zone. It's quite easy not to think. It's quite easy not to talk. It demands, or it needs real daring. It needs real daring on your part to talk for yourself, to voice for yourself, to take decision for yourself. So do not go for easy solutions, shallow solutions, like something which would change, that would guarantee to change your life. Instead of that, take courses which is going to challenge you. Take your work seriously. Work hard. Do solid work. Marriage is not an escape from real problems. Marriage is not the be-all and end-all of life. Marriage is not an escape at all. Getting pregnant is not an escape at all. You should forget, or you should stop, or you should refuse to sell your talents and your aspirations short just for the sake of avoiding confrontation, avoiding conflict. You need not sacrifice yourself. You need not sacrifice your talents, your aspirations, just because you want to avoid confrontation, just because you want to avoid conflict. Don't do that. Do not sell your talents. Do not sell your talents or aspirations short. When society, of course, tells you not to have great expectations. Society always tells you to have low professional expectations. Society always tell you to drown in love and forget about work. It's always drowning in love and you forget everything around the world. No. Society always tells you to live through others. It's always through others that you are living. Do not do that and stay in the place assigned to us. These are the things that society always insists women to do. That is, to have low professional expectations, to drown in love and forget about work, to live through others, and to stay in the places assigned to us. We should refuse to do all these things and insist that our life is filled with meaningful work. In our life, my life is very important. My life is very important as the love and the friendship and the relationships that I do have in our lives. Probably my life is more important than all these relationships. So, in order to take responsibility, you need to be really courageous. You need to be really different. You need not be continuously available for others, because your time is your own. Your time is first of all your own. You need not dedicate all. If you have lots and lots of works to do, why should you go and sacrifice your work and go for others? No, you should not do that. You are important for you, not anybody else. You need not be so very available for your teachers, lovers, husbands, parents, children, whoever it is. If you have your things to do, do it first. First of all, learn to respect yourself. Learn to respect. Let others respect the sense of purpose that you have. Let others respect the sense of integrity that you have in your life. Women everywhere, they are finding courage to do this. Women are creating a sort of a sisterhood, a community of women influencing others and getting influenced by other women, creating a sort of a comradeship, community, and challenging each and every moment of their life. And they are creating, or they are changing, they are coming out courageously, boldly, they are coming out. Now, this is the thing that Adrienne Rich wanted to talk to the women students, girl students over there. Now, Adrienne Rich talks about the second part of the contract. This second part is very much important in the sense that it is talking about the relationship between a teacher and a student. What should be the relationship between a teacher and a student? Now, I believe that in a women's college, you have the right to expect your faculty to take you seriously. See, the faculty, the teachers in any institution for that matter, they should take women students seriously. The education of women has always been a matter of debate for centuries, and you have this negative attitudes regarding women's role, women's ability to think, women's need for education. All these things are still there. The negative attitudes regarding all these things are still there, as a result of which the male professors are not ready to take women students seriously. As a result of which the male professors always think that teaching in a women's college is a second-rate career. And Adrienne Rich says that this is the one thing that male professors, teachers, male or female professors, they should change in themselves. It's not, teaching in any college for that matter, especially women's college, it is a prestigious thing, not a second-rate career at all. That is the first thing that Adrienne Rich talks to or tells the teachers, male and female teachers over there. Second thing Adrienne Rich wants to talk about is to the male teachers over there. This is very important in the sense that you do have lots and lots of male teachers all over the world who have this tendency to eroticize their women students. Now, Adrienne Rich says many tend to eroticize their women students. They treat them as sexual objects instead of demanding the best of their minds. She is also giving an example of Alexander versus Yale, where the Yale University students, a group of women students, demanded a state policy against sexual advances towards female students by male professors. Many teachers Many teachers, male teachers, are eroticizing, are treating girl students as sexual objects, and Adrienne Rich says that that should change. Now many teachers, both men and women, who are trained in the male-centered tradition are still handing down the ideas of this tradition, this convention, and not telling them or not teaching these girl students to criticize the anti-woman attitudes in them. So what a teacher, be it a male or a female teacher, should do is tell the students, teach the students to criticize the anti-woman attitudes which are present in text. Now, another thing that the teacher should take care of while teaching students, as especially girl students, are let them teach to prepare, or let them teach the students to create a sort of critical thinking, active discussion, excellent writing in them, which are the three important requisites for intellectual freedom. And this, of course, requires real hard work. You need to be able to think clearly and critically. You need to be actively participating in all the discussions that is happening in and outside the classroom. You need to be able to write excellently well. These three are the requisites, according to Adrienne Rich, for intellectual freedom. And in an anti-intellectual and anti-woman environment, when female teachers as well as male teachers should not have this low expectations for women students, and they should of course help women students, to encourage women students to have this clear thinking, active discussion, and excellent writing. Now, Adrienne Rich takes the words of Elizabeth Barrett Browning and says that passive recipiency, that is something that we should discourage, and active discussion, active thinking is something that we should encourage in women students. Of course, there is this logical faculty and high mental abilities where women are weak. It's not because they are weak, because society has never allowed them to become or to be logically good, or that the society does not expect them to be so. So if properly trained, according to Elizabeth Barrett Browning, if properly trained, it is not a defect. Of course, it is not a defect. It is just a problem of training. It is just a problem that men gets trained and women does not get trained. So it's just about training. So if properly trained, women would be able to reach higher positions. Yeah. Now, at the very ending, or the last paragraph, of course, deals with a kind of mutual contract between student and the teacher. I'll just read it out. I have said that the contract on the student's part involves that you demand to be taken seriously so that you could go on taking yourself seriously. This means, in order to take yourself seriously, in order that each and every student takes themselves seriously, they should seek out criticism. They should always push themselves further and further, widen the horizons that they are moving, or they should move on and they should reject attitudes of shallow, silly attitudes like take it easy, marriage, you will get married, you are comfortable, right, getting married, like marriage is the be all and end all of everything. Nothing. It means that what you should do as a girl student is assuming your share of responsibility in what happens in the classroom. Classroom is a space where you can begin from. Classroom is a space where you are responsible enough in the discussions which are happening in your life, because that is where your daily life lies, and that is the space where you should begin your change from, begin your claiming process from. It means that the student should herself be engaged in the active discussions which are going on, because there is a real if there is a real active discussions going on in the classroom between the teachers and the students, that is the real struggle for real education. So her teachers, on the one hand, students should of course participate and engage actively in the discussions which are going on in the classrooms. At the same time, the teachers the teachers should be very much committed. Teachers should help the students in taking part, or the teachers should also help the students they should be committed enough to believe that women's minds are important, women's opinions are important, women's experiences are important, and women students should be considered very valuable by the male and the female teachers. So according to Adrienne Rich, she says that the most fertile academic world today is of course a women's college. So if both the teachers and the students come together and have a contract between them, both the ethical and intellectual contract that we were talking about in the first part of the video, see, both this ethical and intellectual contract between the teachers and the students, where the teachers do take the students seriously and the students do take the teachers and themselves seriously, then no woman's mind will be wasted, raveled away, paralyzed, or denied. So this is the whole speech, and so that's it. I hope you might have understood it. Thank you all.